Yesterday, Ford CEO Jim Farley announced that owners of Mustang Mach-E's as well as Ford F-150 Lightnings were going to be able to sign up for a reservation system to get in line for a complimentary Tesla to CCS charging adapter for their cars. Now, Hyundai, I hope you're watching because I really think you guys should follow Ford's lead here. So last summer when Ford announced that they were going to be switching their cars to the North American charging standard, or more commonly known as the Tesla plug, and Ford said, hey, we'll give these out complimentary. And here we are about 7-8 months later, and they're doing good on that promise. Now, as many of you know, Hyundai was much later to the game in announcing that they were going to be switching over their cars in the future to the North American charging standard. Now, Hyundai did not promise any complimentary charging adapter, but I think Hyundai really does owe it to us early adopters of the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 6, because there's been a lot of teething issues with this platform. Now, I'm talking the dead 12-volt batteries, I'm talking failed ICCUs and blown fuses, derated level 2 charging. There's so many issues that all of us early adopters have been experiencing, and I really think that Hyundai owes it to us. Give us this little nicety, it's good PR. It also is going to save people $100, $150, depending on how much these adapters are going to cost when they come out. And it's just going to lead to an ultimately better charging experience on DC fast chargers for Ioniq 5 owners in the future. To this day, I still don't feel comfortable relying on only Electrify America to charge my car on a road trip. Here in central Connecticut, the Manchester EA station, which is on a main thoroughfare from New York to Boston, has had at least half of its chargers down for weeks now. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's one of the most used stations in Connecticut, and for some reason it still hasn't been upgraded over the last few years. I really have no idea why Electrify America isn't putting this station as a top priority to fix it with its next generation hardware, but they just haven't. So in my eyes, having the Tesla network is going to be crucial to allowing effortless road tripping for our cars. But at the making of this video, Tesla has not changed their superchargers to allow for charging at 800 volts, so our car cannot charge at its full charging potential. But that should change in the future. I would imagine that Hyundai and Kia and Porsche have all worked with Tesla to figure this one out, because also along with us, Porsche uses an 800 volt architecture, so they're really going to want to take advantage of the power that these cars can take in. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, recognizes that this is just a nice thing to do for its existing owners of its EVs. 2025 Ioniq 5 and EV6 are most likely going to have the NACS port as standard on the vehicles, so they are not going to need to use an adapter. It's going to be 2022, 2023, and 2024 Ioniq 5, EV6, GV60. So in the relatively near future, if you want to use a Tesla supercharger, you will not need an adapter, but you will need an adapter if you want to use any other DC fast charger out in the public. But companies like ChargePoint and Electrify America have already said they are going to begin implementing Tesla's NACS charging cables on their stations. So these adapters really aren't going to be needed very long into the future because the infrastructure is going to adjust accordingly. So I just want to give a lot of kudos to Jim Farley. He is out there in the public eye. He's talking to people. He's on Twitter all the time. It's just really nice to see a CEO acting that way, which we do not see with Hyundai. Hyundai is the complete opposite. They keep pretty much everything close to their vests. They don't really talk to the public about things like this other than through their PR department. So I know they're a massive conglomerate, but it would be really nice to see them being a little more forthright with owners of their cars and interacting with us. Now, if you didn't already know, if you own an Ioniq 5 or an EV6, you can currently go and charge at certain Tesla superchargers. So Tesla has installed the Magic Dock connector at some of its sites, and this is basically a CCS adapter built into the station. So if you do have a CCS card, you can just roll up, unplug that and plug it into your car, and you're good to go. Now, like I said earlier, you're not going to be able to charge at full charging speed. Right now, it's at about 100 kilowatts. Theoretically, it should be able to go up to about 125, 130. So stay tuned, because it is possible that these stations with Magic Docks will be able to charge our cars at full speed some point in the near future. And if you haven't seen that video, you can check that out right here. But if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, let Hyundai know what you think about giving out these free charging adapters. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.